yeah, of course it is. He's a very valued player, has an enormous impact with the player group. They all love him, and he just loves playing footy. So it's good, very good, spot on. I mean, you hound it and hound it and hound it. If you're not winning, it's sometimes you go, oops, when are we going to get there? But when you do win, what it does, it clarifies a few things. But the significance of it, we haven't been playing bad football. We haven't been playing good football long enough. And I think what the boys got out of that on the weekend was against a very good football side. We stayed true to our commitment longer. And when you do that, you end up having more of the football, or more of the football where you want it anyway. Well, so much am I disappointed in the lapse. I don't think there was a lapse necessarily. I think our option taking at that time was poor. But you might be right. The word might be lapse in concentration to make that happen. But I think also one of the things that you've got to be very, very cautious of in this, you cannot dominate games against quality opposition or against probably all opposition all day. There's going to be times when it's the momentum shifts and they gain a little bit, and then it's your job to stop it. And I was particularly pleased that we're able to at least drag it back in. So, and that's the test against a side like Adelaide, who finished had a great season last year, had a terrific win last week, is being able to stay in the game longer and smarter than what we were the last week. So we're just gaining each week, and that's going to be the big test. Oh, they're just a very good football side. I think that they've got, when you look at their player group, they're a very good quality group. They play disciplined football. I don't think it's an accident where they finished last year, and you can't play as good as long as they did last year without being recognised as a very good football side. As I explained to the boys beforehand, this is a different team, different tactics, and that's what makes life interesting as a coach. It's not a matter of just turning up and saying, okay, last week's we'll go to the well again, because that's not going to happen. We will be playing a different... And for all the one-on-one, we were very much not one-on-one on quite a few occasions last week. But that's up to them to work that out. But no, every side's different. Creates their own problems, and therefore you've got to shuffle your team structure around accordingly. It's got nothing to do with your game plan, it's your game strategies. I don't think we're really at that... I don't think I've ever coached that way. I've coached some very good football sides. I've coached some sides that aren't necessarily that great. And we've always paid respect for the opposition, look at their strengths, and our strategies exist for that team on a week-to-week basis. Oh, well, he's just a very hard player to stop. Very good footballer.
What about Taylor Walker? He's a pretty...
Well, he's another one. Keep throwing him in there. They are good footballers. Well, I made a comment some time, I think it was last year, and I was had the luxury of being able to make it without reference to being a football attached to any football. So he reminds me of a modern day version of a Lockett and Dunstall. Now let's not get caught up in this. They're out and out champions, and he's got a lot of time to do that, to prove that. But he's only a young bloke. He's powerful. He's not 6'6". He's the traditional, that front end player that's got great strength, great kicking power, plays for his teammates, and kicks goals. So when you trace that back along those lines of those sort of players, he is as close to those type of players physically as any player in the competition. And that's not taking away from Travis Cloke, who's again a different sort of player. He's probably the best centre half forward. And if you look at full forward, perhaps if we go back to the old system, then Walker, he's the one that attracts. I think is probably is the most solid down there. What else do you want to know that I need to tell everyone? Well, what would you reckon? He's a fullback.
No, I know you've trusted Henderson with some big forwards as well.
Well, they're both. Fortunately, they're both in the same side. Yes, Jared will play in the VFL this week, and they play Sunday. So it's been a long haul, a long wait. So we will see how he pulls up, go from there. But he's trained very well over the last couple of weeks. The old saying, when they're ready, give him another week. Oh, he'll play as much as he can. Well, I don't know I knew him as as an opposition player. He's like any player. Doesn't really want to have patience listed next to his name. He just wants to get out there. But unfortunately, he's had to be reasonably patient over that period because the leg just didn't respond early on, and it has in the last probably month. So he's had to do a mini pre-season. He did a good pre-season, and he backed off, so we have to then... Look, he could have been playing 2 weeks ago had he been able to perhaps get out there and run. So we're going to now develop a pre-season program, and this is part of the strategies. He could go 1 week, could go 2 weeks. I think it depends on how he pulls. It's not a matter of how many goals he kicks or how many footballs he touches. It's a matter of getting through, understanding his body, which he does, us understanding that he can get through a game of football. And I think the system is get it right. Let's not be rushed into anything, regardless of result this weekend or who we play the following weekend or whatever the case may be. Can we?
Can you move?
Yes. Well, can we? Yes, we can. Will we pay the $27.50 and go and have a look? Is that how much it costs to get in? I hope it is. Right. Thank you.